to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here I'm looking at Bitcoin US dollar index on the weekly time frame, and we're looking at the weekly because I just watched Eric Crown and he was talking about the stochastic indicator, which I have turned on down at the bottom. Now I don't have not using the same one as he is. I'm just using a regular old standard stochastic indicator with no there's a whole variety of them out there with different settings turned on and whatever. This is just a standard, and it looks to me like it's down below the bottom line here, the bare line, and it's about to turn upwards. It is actually curling upwards, I believe. Well, let's see. Is it? No. But it looks like it's about to turn back upwards, and it is below the moving average. Now, his has the stochastic way up here, and the regular line is just turning below the moving average. So I don't believe his. It's adjusted differently than just standard. So no, I don't believe his at all. So you gotta watch. You gotta pay attention to what's going on. Is his right? Is just this typical standard one right? This looks right to me, but it's up to you. You got to pay attention to what people are saying. A lot of times people will show you a chart and say one thing, and if you're actually really paying attention, you can see that what they're saying and what the chart are doing are two entirely different things, and their interpretation is totally biased. So the next thing I wanted to look at here, because he still is holding on to this belief that we're going down, as well as are a lot of people, and they are effing wrong. We have one more major pump to the upside, and I think a lot of people are going to miss out on it. And the reason, that just adds more fuel to the fire, because so many people are calling for a downturn. And the reason why they are calling for it, reason why they're rooting for it, it's because they're out of the market. They're sitting in USTC and USDC, and that's probably why they're printing so much, because all these people are sitting in it. And we're not going to give you better prices than this, okay? And actually what's going to happen is you are going to FOMO in. You're going to FOMO in when you realize that it's not going down. And that will further drive upside action. There's going to be, short liquidations. Well, probably long liquidations too. There's going to be a lot of liquidations and FOMO that fuels this move to the upside. And it's going to be huge. It's going to be 35 to 50%. It's probably going to be around 35% for Bitcoin, I believe. And, 50% for some of these other altcoins for the month of February. And then coming in March, I do believe that we will travel downwards and sideways into the halving event. And while you may see some major pullbacks there, it's not going to be a huge dump. It'll be gradual over, almost a couple month period. So here you can see when I'm zooming in on the RSI here on the weekly, that we are bouncing off, not bouncing, but seeing a turn upwards from this trend line that goes back here. on the chart, all the way back. Well, yeah, this is our same trend line that goes back to September. And it's touched here, touched here, touched here, and has come down and touched here and turning up for one more pump to the upside. A big pump like this one before turning down, and then probably see it come down here. If we do come back down to this major line that goes back, you know what? I think this is on the, well, no, this is on the weekly too. But what's interesting is this line I have drawn here that's lighter in color that goes all the way back here to the bottom in 2022. And the bottom in November, both in June and November. And then here in, when is this? In July. August, yeah. Oh, that's when we dumped in August. Interesting. Yeah, there we go. I should have been looking at this then, because it foreshadowed that move in August here. Well, maybe this was that move right there. Okay. Yeah, that was the move in August. So those three dumpolas, June, December, and August, we came down to this line. So, you know, maybe this could turn down and we do dump now. I'm not saying that that's not possible. It's not what I see. Not what I see. I see one more pump, and then we turn down here, coming here into the halving where this blue vertical line is. Makes more sense to me. All these other indicators are at their, well, the stochastic is at the bottom, ready to turn up. The volatility here on the weekly is at extreme low. This is the BBWP indicator at 4.76. 4.76. I need a drink of water. And the other one, the stochastic RSI, is in the upper region, but it is turning upwards as well. You can see there. Let me get a drink. Now going up to the top here, you can see we have a nice weekly green candle here forming. Still got a couple days left on that. And let me call your attention to this red line here. This is the neckline of our little mini head and shoulders pattern. Now we're looking at we're on a weekly chart here, so I don't know if I drew this on a weekly time frame. It may have shifted, but right now it's currently around this week it's around 43,848. But what's interesting is next week it is at 43,960, which is the top of the candle bodies here. I'll get more into that in a second. I just want to look at the monthly to see what that looks like. Now looking at the stochastic on the monthly here, it looks like it could be about to cross, but right here, the blue line is determined by the price action. This isn't determining the price action. I want to be very clear about that. Price action is determining this. So whether it crosses up or down depends on what we're doing on the price. And we are up at the, well, what appears we're up at the top. So, I guess if we are at the top, then I guess we're going to have to cross. But what I want to note here, where we're at right now is very similar to where we were at in February. Right there, February 1st, 2021. Well, I guess that's 2021. Regardless. For a second, I thought it was 20. What did I think? 2023? That's over here somewhere. Anyway, in February 2021, we were up here. And what did we see? We saw 2 more months at the top before crossing down. So this is at our first top here. And there's February's candle. And then we had March's candle right there. Which was another 31% before we had this doji candle thing here, and then a downturn here in May. So February here, nice big candle up, and one more candle up, 30%. So while we were at the top here with the stochastic, we still had room, as we do here, for another month upwards before we see a pullback in March and April. So that's looking good to me. So that's just the stochastic that's up at the top. We're still in low volatility on the BBWP. Well, it's 19%. We haven't really seen expansion off of that, and probably won't see expansion off of that until over here in June and July, really, when we start our parabolic run. And stochastic RSI looks like it could turn upwards through. See, again, like I said, it's the price action that will dictate this. If price action pulls up a little bit more, we will see this move up through the top of the up through the moving average. Just like back, well, God, I can't get this. Just like back here in September, October. Now, and this as well on the RSI, the monthly RSI is actually pointing upwards because of price action. Now, can we really see any candles here? If I zoom in enough, you can see, as I called, everybody was calling for a big doom and gloom Dragonfly Doji or whatever here. Crypto Crew was calling for it. Somebody else was calling for it. A lot of people. Oh, this is a death candle, whatever. It's a reversal. We're gonna dump back down. No, we're not. We're here. You can't even see our candle. It's very, very thin. We haven't moved very much on the monthly. That's because it's only like the second day, right? Okie doke. And I want to point out too here on the BBWP, we're at extreme low volatility, about to expand, or when we do expand from that, we still have 2 days and 11 hours. So that closes Sunday. Sunday night, we'll start a new 5-day period with Monday. Now, I believe we're going to expand on Monday. So if you're waiting to get confirmation on this expansion, once again, you're going to miss out. Like I've said many, many times with this indicator, if you wait for confirmation on this expansion, you will miss the move. So next week and the following week will be big moves to the upside. Um, and the stochastic indicator is at the low part of its range, about to turn upwards. That's on the 5-day. And on the weekly here, same deal. It's at, okay, this guy needs to move away. 4.76. This guy's down below and looking to turn up as well. If it isn't already. Is it already turning up? No. Okay. I think we just looked at that. So now on the daily, a lot of lines here. First of all, let's see where that red line is here. Red line is, yeah, it's up around 43,900-ish in that range. It's slanting upwards. That's the neckline of our head and shoulders reversal pattern we're forming right here. It's not clear on the daily because it's a lower time frame. You have the shoulder here. You have a little shoulder here. Little shoulder here touches the neckline there. Big head. Big head touches the neckline there. And currently forming the final shoulder here. Now, what I believe is going to happen, got U.S. market opening a little bit. We're forming on the 4-hour, this red candle. Possibly we do come back down to this pink line here at about, because that's at the intersection of these lines as well, 42,800. I don't see that out of the question. And before bouncing here, making a move back up. When does that close? 2 more hours. Yeah, I don't see, probably not come all the way down here, but I think once the market opens, we're going to see us heading upwards. And what I believe will happen today is that we could possibly break through the neckline here today, especially since now this is very critical right here. The neckline of our head and shoulders reversal pattern, inverse head and shoulders, and the top of our green parallel channel, which all the assets are trading in right now, and some are breaking out. But this is a green parallel channel, which I have highlighted here. You should be able to see that. Yeah, it's at 4 points. That we've been traveling in since September. Not September, since January. We've been trading in this green parallel channel, bull flag channel, that I've mentioned many times, so you should know it. And we are about to either break out or get rejection here. So I believe we're breaking out here. We're about to break out there. And that would break us above this neckline. But this is a very critical area right here at 43,900, 5,900. But I do believe we will break through there, probably come up to maybe 44.6, 44.7, get rejection off of this resistance support line here, and just hang out here over the weekend and retest this for support. And then Monday morning, with a new market open, we always have to operate around the U.S. schedule for some reason. Monday morning, good chance will be about 43,600 for a bounce off this intersection of all these lines here. This is the top of the green parallel channel. This is the top of our bull flag green channel. And this is another channel that we are reversing. This pink parallel channel it's heading upwards, is the channel that we are reversing out of in this inverse head and shoulders pattern. So yeah, once we come up there, then I believe we will follow this green channel, which we always do, to the top of the pink parallel channel here. We will exit it, and this gets us to the target. This arrow right here is the target of our head and shoulders pattern at 49,000, which coincidentally is the local high here. Then from there, I do believe we will continue upwards to what I've been saying this whole time, 58 to 62,000. But we'll get into a more analysis of that later on. Because it could be possibly 57, could be 60, could be 62. So we'll see. Now, I mentioned this green bull flag channel here, right? Whoops, let me get my green cursor right here that we're traveling in. And it is the cup and handle formation that you're seeing on a lot of other. This is the total 3 right now that I switched to on the 4-hour chart. But Bitcoin, total 3, all the other cryptos, everything is having this little pullback here. Now, and I've said this many times, I do not believe that this is the actual handle of the cup and handle pattern. Let's go to a weekly here. I think we're just having a little pullback. And from March to the halving is when we're at form our actual handle, if in fact that's what you want to call it. I mean, we don't have to form perfect patterns here, but I think we got room to move up a little bit more here, maybe up to, I don't know what. You know what, let's see what a 50% move is here, because I believe a lot of these altcoins are predicting a 50% move up here for the month of February. So I can't see. I think I'm on the line there. 50% up here. Gets us up to about, well, that's for, do you want to go the whole 50? Well, the entire 50 gets us up to 723. 40-ish gets us about to 675. So 675 to 725. Let's see what that looks like over here. That gets us up to this region from April, May 2022, which is, excuse me, man, which is entirely reasonable. Do we come all the way up to 824? Highly doubt it right now. Yeah. But very could possibly come up to 700 billion-ish range for, I'll have to really look and see what do we got back here. That's overshooting it a bit. Yeah, this looks reasonable right here. 695. Looks very reasonable. It's support here, it's resistance here, as we were heading up in the past. Yeah. That looks very reasonable to me, and that would be where we start to perform the handle pattern. And coincidentally, that puts us back up in this green channel here. And then we form a a flag handle that takes us out here. Sounds perfectly reasonable to me. How do these indicators look? I don't know. I don't want to get into it now. We got more important things to talk about. We got other things to look out now. George, the Cryptosaurus, actually stole my Chainlink analysis, as he is a big technical analyzer. We're looking at Chainlink on the weekly here, and you can see the the pullback channel that we're forming on all these assets here. And Chainlink is the first to break through. A very confirmed breakthrough of this. I don't see how you could see it. Well, you know what? Right now I do see how you could see it as anything less. Because if we did this, we got that going on too, with a fake out here. So what Chainlink could do, I wouldn't be surprised if we did have a rejection here and a pullback to the center line here of our upward sloping channel and the top of our downward sloping channel. Very interesting. So let's see what happens there. But anyway, aside from that, I just saw that. That's interesting. You have to keep that in mind. We want to zoom out here. And so, yeah, you clearly see a cup and handle pattern forming here. Here's the handle, breakout. I still think, though, like the others, we could come up to here. Now, so, yeah, here is $29. And so we are breaking out of this downward channel here. And where would our target... You know what? Let's just measure... Let's measure the... You know what? I'm going to turn you off right now. Now, so what is not reasonable is this target drawn from our cup and handle pattern. If placed over here, would take Chainlink up to $60. That is flipping nutso even for me. So let's get rid of those. What the heck just happened here? Let's get rid of that guy. Let's get rid of that guy. Those are not real. I got enough lines on my chart. But what is more reasonable and actually freaking makes a ton of sense is this pull here. This measured pull from $7, where we started in October, to the top of the flag here. And I've taken that, I pulled it over here to where we're breaking out. Takes us right up to this red line that I had already previously had on the chart. And what is that red line? First of all, you'll notice the red line is perfectly parallel to this channel here that we are on a weekly. So that channel represents the entire price action of Chainlink. Hits the bottom, hits the top. Okay, there we go. Got the bottom there, got the top here, and action right along the center line. So that perfectly is describing Chainlink's price action. And that red line is perfectly, not only perfectly parallel to the parallel channel that Chainlink is trading in, it comes here, hits this, it acts as support here, acts as support here. I'm sure if we zoom in there, you can see the support and resistance that it had right there, as well as support here and resistance back here and resistance back here. So that red line is very, very, very important. And what it will act as right now is resistance. We will come up to that line and pull back, most likely back down, maybe to where we're at now, maybe to, you know what, most likely to this center line here. But that's the next step, and we're not going to get into that now. But what is this move right here? That takes Chainlink up to about $30 from 17, where it's at right now. That's why I'm telling you, big moves come this month. So that's a freaking 68% move. Now, you might think that's crazy. You might think that is crazy for this month. But I want to show you here on a daily time frame these moves that Chainlink has made on a daily time frame. In mostly just 2 days, but over the course of 4 days here in October, Chainlink had a 52% move. That's just in 4 days. And so if we wanted to get 68, yep. So over the course of about a week and a half, just, barely a week. I don't know where I started my line. I started it on the 20, yeah, so I got to add a couple more days to it. Yeah, the course of a week and a half, Chainlink did do a 66% move right here, which could be very similar to what we see this month. And also, again, right here. Over the course of 8 days, 56% move. So it sounded crazy at first that I said Chainlink's going to make a 68% move this month. But it doesn't seem crazy now, does it? No. So there you have that on Chainlink. Is I'd say it up until I just made this second parallel channel here, I'd say that Chainlink was busting out here, and I still believe it is. But I would just like to see what happens when we get up to, I suppose we'll meet some resistance here, and perhaps we already are seeing that at 18, about 18.6, and then also at the center line here at about 19.77. So, yeah, see what happens. Maybe we come all the way up through to the center line pretty soon here, and then back down and retest the top of that. Keep an eye out for those things. And we can go to our friends Render to see what Render is doing here with these 1, 2, 3, 4 daily candles is coming up to this red line that I've drawn. Render, I'm very, very cautious here about calling a breakout while it has broken out of this original white parallel channel that I saw render traveling in, I can also see this red parallel channel here, like that. So we do need a breakout here to confirm. So on all these, it really, really looks like we're about to break out, but still not confirmed. And I imagine we don't get that confirmation. You know, possibly on some of these we do today and then retest over the weekend. And then next week, Monday, is where we really see the big moves start for all these assets. Let's look at Solana. See, same on Solana. It's wanting to break out, and I originally had this green parallel channel here, and but technically, if you catch this wick here, this yellow line is the resistance there, and we are hitting it. We haven't been able to break it yet. It doesn't mean we're not, but just haven't broken it yet. And typically you will see this. We'll hit resistance, a bunch of times before we finally break through it. And but when we do, you have that orange channel, it will probably... No, never mind. I'm not going to get into further analysis of this right now. But big moves coming for everybody. Let's just see where, if we did move up a percentage similar to where are we at now? We're down here. Oh, that's a lot. Whoa, we're really zoomed out here, I guess. Yeah, okay, so this white resistance line is about a 40% move. Back up to about $1.38. So I could see that for Solana. All right, I'm not going to get into further analysis here. There's too many lines. We're looking at ICP now, and here we are again. Similarly, got that bull flag channel we're traveling in. Now, this reminded me, what we have seen here is that we came up to the top of the channel, got rejected, started coming back down, and naturally, well, we'd go back down to the bottom of the channel. But no, we got a reversal here at the center line, and we're coming back up for another try at the top. So, yeah, that looks good. But then kind of back here, we had that same thing. But this was early on in the formation of this channel. You got to remember that. So, yeah, got to wait and see here what happens. Not getting any confirmations yet on this, but let's go to AVAX. It's back up around 36. See, same thing here. Came up to the top of the channel, got rejection, back down, but not even to the center line. And we're trying at it again. Broken through currently through the green parallel channel, but again, like the others, we have this other line that catches some other price action here outside the channel. Because when I draw these channels, I try to get a majority of the price action and get the most contact points. If I had pulled it all the way up here, it wouldn't have any other contact points until we get way down here. So it's indicating to me that more than likely we are breaking out, but just can't confirm it yet. Let's go back to Solana's render and see if they did the same thing on the little bit of a pullback before heading back up. Um, Not really. Render's been leading the way and it really, really wants to go here. Um, well, kind of. Yeah. See, Render did on this white channel here. Came up here, back down to the center line for another attempt. It did bust through. So it is busting out of this white parallel channel, but I'm just not um, convinced enough yet, confident enough yet to say, hey, yeah, we're exploding. I do truly believe that is what it's about to happen. And I think everything's just saving up for next week. Kind of hold back and get everybody on board on the same boat. And there's a lot of fuel sitting on the sidelines to drive this. A lot of fuel sitting on the sidelines to drive this. You got the Super Bowl coming up and ads and all that other stuff that will drive a huge, huge move to the upside. Plus, I don't know, in California, we got a week of rain. I don't know how the rest of the country is going to look, but yeah, we got inches and inches and inches of rain coming all next week. So you got everybody sitting inside on their computers all day long. So there you have that. Render Solana. Let's see if Solana. Oops, I didn't want to do that. How do I get out of here? Let's do that. Then we'll go to Solana. Wait, I'm doing. God, what am I doing? I'm losing my mind. Let's go to Solana. We'll go back to a daily time frame. So yeah, Solana actually broke out of the green parallel channel, hit this yellow line that is the what I said it was before, pulled back. Interesting though, the pullback was to the center line of this channel, and then onwards and upwards here, and currently seeing a rejection off that line once again. But we will get through this. So we're seeing the same action on all these. And I do want to look at one more thing. Well, one more thing before that other one more thing. We got XRP here. Everybody's worried about XRP because it is on the base of this support, this long, and you got that big red candle there. This is on a daily time frame. So let's go to a weekly now for a second so I can look at the overall picture of XRP. Got this major, let's even zoom out more. You got this green parallel channel. So these are parallel channels. They're also trend lines. Green one goes all the way back here to May 2017. This one captures price action in here and also is support here. So that's super zoomed out. And as you can clearly see, we formed this big symmetric triangle right here before a huge breakout to the upside in 2017. Same thing we're doing here, huge symmetrical triangle, presumably before a huge move up here. Now zooming in, you can see that the bottom of our yellow or white, whatever color that is, parallel channel hits this right here, as well as the green parallel channel. This is where we've fallen out of the green parallel channel, but are still in the white parallel channel. and being, but we are at the bottom. So we need to hold this. If we don't hold it, then we fall through. Possibly, there's a lot of levels we could fall down to. 42 looks possible, and even 33 looks possible. However, we also have this red line here. Now this red line connects this low here and something else. Another low right here. So this wick, this bottom of March of 2020, and this bottom here in January of 2023. So we have support there. So what I believe is really, really possible here, worst case scenario, because I don't think this is going to dump down to 42 or 33 or whatever. But actually, what is this red line at? It's at 45. And if we get a little bit closer here, 44, just above 44. What I think is possible is that we get a dump Ola wick scaring the bejesus out of everybody and wick down to this red line. But we close all our candle bodies. Well, we're looking at a weekly chart here. I don't know if maybe possibly we would close some daily candles between the red and yellow lines here, but more than likely close weekly candles holding this yellow line as support. So that's the worst case scenario I see here. So don't get scared if you see XRP falling below 49 into the 48, 47, 46 region. But the thing here is, even if it goes down below 44, could it just only come down to 42? The other thing too is that I wanted to point out, and this is why I wanted to look at this, is the, where in the heck is it? Oh, it's right there. The weekly Gaussian channel is also right here. So the mean band of the weekly Gaussian channel is right there, giving us support as well. Just out of curiosity, what is the bottom at? Bottom is about 39. That doesn't make a lot of sense right now. So, yeah, I think maybe we could possibly come below the mean band as we did back here, and then come back up and hold it for support. Worst case scenario, I do see us maybe coming back down to here and holding this as support. So don't be scared if you see that happening. And then more than likely, let me turn this guy off. Well, before I turn it off, we're looking at the daily now. I switched to the daily, and you can see we've come out of the daily Gaussian channel, but that would warrant a move back up into it. And when we do that, we typically shoot right through. So that would fall in line with what I was about to say, is that we probably do, even if we do wick through here, we do see a bounce from this region back up through here, probably up to the up here somewhere. Where is that? 90? Oh yeah, 92 cents. Makes a lot of sense. And let's turn this off. And why was I looking at 92 cents? I think that's yeah, that was our previous high area. Is that green line something? Oh, that green line is yeah, I don't have it drawn in. This green line is kind of like the top of a ascending triangle. But that, yeah, that would be up around that area. So yeah, I'm looking for a bounce here for XRP. But not yet a breakout from this big channel that it's forming. Or big triangle that it's forming, I should say. I don't see us breaking this resistance line until we hit the parabolic run. So out here in June, July, yeah, just past where I have that red line drawn. But yeah, probably we do see this come up to here, come back down, come back up, and well, I'm too zoomed out here, so I don't know what I'm talking about there. But anyway, we talked about the important stuff down here in this region. Now, the other important thing I wanted to say was with Bitcoin. Ha! That's funny on Bitcoin. See, we did come down, just like I said. We did come down in an attempt to bounce off of this line, intersection of these lines here, which are parallel channels that we're traveling in, for the U.S. market open, which is in another 3 minutes. And we couldn't even get down there. We couldn't even give it a real test. Maybe we do here. Maybe we do in the next, well, we got 30 minutes left in this hour. So maybe we do see that. But I'm looking for a bounce here. But what I did want to discuss, I wanted to look at, no, I don't want to look at I want to look at exactly where we're at. So I got to do this again. The reason why I got to, anyway, there's something up here that you can't see that's in my way. So I can't do things normally here. Let's turn on the daily Gaussian channel here. And what you can see, if you have really good eyes, it can see through all these lines, is also what we're doing here with the date, with reference to the daily Gaussian channel, is we've fallen into it, which you know what, I was totally on board with this. I saw a wick here, I saw this here, and I was proposing that possibly we could skate by without falling in. But no, we couldn't. We did fall in here, and when we fall in here, you get sucked in, and sure enough, we came down to the bottom, bounced off, came back up to the center line here, and are holding as support. The next move is we shoot up through the top, out the top. So anybody that tells you anything other than what I'm telling you is full of shit. This is very, very obvious and very, very typical technical analysis. I mean, the charts are telling you what's going to happen. And all these people that are saying 30 this, 30 whatever, they have nothing to base that on. And if they do, if they're trying to trick you by showing you something, it's BS. Now, you know, You can make arguments both ways for bulls and bears, but their argument is weak. It's weak as far as I'm concerned. Their whole argument is based on the belief that we're going to have this pullback into the halving, but they're calling it wrong. We have one more pump before we see a downside into the halving, if in fact we do. But that's just based on people are going, oh, Bitcoin's always done this, it's always done that, and you can't look at it like that. It hasn't always done this. We have halving events that do not happen every 4 years. And a 4-year cycle, presumably, and a presidential cycle, and all this stuff interacting with one another, and they create different, similar but different patterns. So we're zooming out here. You can see the first halving was November of 2012. Second halving was July of 2016. That is not 4 years. Third one was May of 2020. And this one is going to be April of 2020, which is almost 4 years. But so saying we do the same thing in heading into the halving and also saying that we're on a 4-year pattern are completely bullshit. They don't even jive with one another. So when you look at what Bitcoin is doing, and I'll get into that later because what we've seen heading into, let's just look at it now. What we've seen heading into the halving is entirely different. When you look, well, let's look at a daily time frame. Oh, we got to turn the Gaussian channel off. I wonder if our little dinosaurs go back up or a little. Yeah, here we are. We're back at the beginning. Back at the beginning, heading into this halving. Heading into this halving. We are about like 75 days from the halving. So 2.5 months out. This one was November 28th. So let's go back to October 28th, September 28th, and a half month back from that. So here, this is where we would be. But did we have this? No, we didn't. We didn't have this. Didn't see this at all. So we didn't do this heading into this halving. But I do believe here we are 2.5 months out, somewhere around here. I do believe we're going to continue upwards here and then pull back into the halving. But you can see here, so we do have, if we're following what we've done in previous times, then we do have room to go up, come down, and go up. I don't think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to go up and then come down like this. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's turn this guy back on. And here's the second halving, which occurred July 9th. So let's go back to June 9th, May 9th, and back a couple weeks from there. So we'd be around here in this area. Well, that would predict, yeah, we got upside still. There's no big pullback here. And then we have this huge move here coming into the halving, just That's July. So about a month and a half out, we have a 80% move to the upside before this halving, before seeing a pullback down into it. Now, truthfully, this is what I see happening, but not 80%, but possibly a good 30% move up and then a pullback into the halving. Not as close as this. This is only a few weeks out. I'm thinking maybe we see like a month and a half out or so into the halving, or 2 months, a gradual downwards pullback. But yeah, 35% move. So when people tell you what we're doing heading into the halving, they're full of shit. You got to watch what time frame they're talking about. You got to really look at the candles, because when you're just listening to something and looking at it on your phone and just believing what they're talking about and not really looking at it, people are very misleading. So our third halving was here in May of 2020. And if we go back to April, to March, and back to about February-ish, that's 2.5 months out. And here, yeah, we kind of had a COVID crash. Whoa. So yeah, you did see a big pullback there. So yeah, maybe we have another COVID. Maybe, yeah, the whole world gets sick. Yeah, yeah, that could happen. So yeah, if the whole world gets sick, we do see that pullback. Other than that, what we do see is upward price action heading into the halving. Now, when did COVID news start this? I mean, people were talking about it definitely in February, March. I got sick back here in December. I don't know if it was actually COVID, but it was very different than any cold I had. And it's after me and my girlfriend both, I took her to the hospital for, she was having stomach pains. So, yeah, and I haven't been sick. It's funny, I haven't been sick since then, because I ordinarily, I wouldn't even have any idea when the last time I was sick, but I remember this was the last time I was being sick, and because of COVID, you're kind of like looking if you're going to get sick. It's something you're keeping an eye on, and I haven't been sick since then. So whatever happened in this case, you can't really. There's no evidence. You can't rely on that as evidence for anything that's going to happen in the future. So now, just looking at it now, what I say is very reasonable to expect. Anybody that's saying we see a big pullback into the halving doesn't know what the F they're talking about. And they don't know what time frame they're talking about. And it's all a bunch of BS. Because they need to get paid for their channels. They need to get paid by their sponsors. They need to make the trades. They need you to feed their trades. All that stuff. And maybe even some of them are getting paid by the big boys. So you got to double check. You got to verify everything you hear. Let's see what we're doing now on the daily, on the hour. Let's switch to an hourly. U.S. market has opened, and look at that. Our little red candle has turned green. That is nice to see. Let's go on a 5-minute. I love the 5-minute chart. U.S. market opened right here. So we didn't even make it down. We didn't even make it down here to these lines. Oh, this is very bullish for me. Going to see a good day today. We can go to these guys, see how these guys are doing. Look at freaking Meta. Woohoo! Yeah, look at Meta go. I bought Meta at 139 a year ago. And that was high. I didn't quite catch the bottom on that one. $70, up 17% today. That is sweet. I sold out of a lot of these other ones that I have here. Except for HCWB, I'm holding on to that. And Lyric Jeans, it was a big pump and dump. I made and lost a lot of money on in 2010, 26 to, or 2006 to 2010. Coinbase is kind of hurting a little bit. I don't like to see that. So what I did, a lot of these other stocks that I had been invested in, I sold out of and bought I bought Fidelity. I didn't buy any BlackRock. I bought Fidelity and I bought I didn't buy any, I might have bought a little bit of BlackRock, but I bought no, I bought Fidelity and I bought Bitwise, and just with some change I bought a little bit of Valkyrie too. Oh, but they're all red. Why are they red right now? They shouldn't be red. Huh. Well, that's a very, very odd that they had a big drop off. But see, they trade. That's what's strange too. All this is going to be really weird because they have a specific range of hours that they trade in. Now, oh, see, that's why. Because we were trading up here and now we're down here. But they'll turn around. They'll turn around and be back up here today. They'll be in the green. That's why. Oh, I'm on the 5-minute chart. Oh, I don't want to be on a daily either. I want to be on hourly. Yeah, see, that's why. Yesterday we were up here, now we're down here. But we will be back up here, so they'll be in the green. All right, so this has been a lot longer than I thought, and then you probably, nobody's probably even listening anymore. But if you are, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.